How's it going, guys? Jeffco here. Today I'm going to teach you how to make Taho, aka tofu fa, aka Silken Tofu. To start off, we'll need to go through the process of making soy milk. And what better way to make soy milk than from soybeans? So let's get started. Alright, the first step should be to wash your hands. I cannot stress enough the importance of hygiene, especially when working with food, but especially when making tofu. Just get in there, get the nitty and the gritty. You'll need to soak the beans at least 12 hours in advance, or you can leave it overnight in the fridge. Notice the difference in size once the beans hydrate. What I like to do is wash it like I'm washing rice, just to get the impurities out. You'll see a lot of bubbles when you're washing the beans. So fresh. Once the beans are cleaned, it's time to scoop some into the blender. I put in about this much beans, and now it's time to add the water. The water level should be just above the beans, not too high and not too low. About this much will do. Time for the blender. Now, I set it to regular blend, and it doesn't really take that long depending on your blender, approximately 20 to 30 seconds, maybe less. For me, I just want to make sure that it's all blended and pureed perfectly, so I gave it a good 1 minute. That's probably overkill. For this next part, you'll need 3 things. Number 1 is a strainer cloth or a bag. Luckily, this one came with my blender. You can always use other types of bags or cloth, such as a cheesecloth. Secondly, a metal strainer. This will go underneath your cloth or bag. Thirdly, a container such as a pot or pan. In my case, I decided to use a non-stick wok. It is a lifesaver. Initially, I use a large pot to cook my soy milk. However, sometimes I have an issue that the soy milk gets burnt at the bottom, and the cleanup process takes about 3 days. Now pour the contents of the blender into the bag and get ready to squeeze. Here we go. Now squeeze away. want to keep squeezing until you're satisfied that you've squeezed out all the milk. And there's your soy milk. Now this is not nearly enough, as this is just the first batch. You'll need to repeat the process from the blending and the squeezing maybe 2 or 3 more times before you boil. And what's left over is the soybean pulp, or okara. What? You want to throw it away? Hold on a second. Apparently this is very nutritious, and you can use it for recipes for soy burgers or tofu burgers, or even tofu nuggets. Place the pot, or in this case, the wok, on the stove and let the soy milk simmer on medium, stirring occasionally to prevent or minimize sticking and burning at the bottom. From simmer to boil, you'll know that it's almost done cooking when you see bubbles forming. I go by that, but also I go by smell. You see, as it cooks, the soy milk smells sweeter. When it's raw, the soy milk smells kind of like raw grass. Tastes like it too, but I don't recommend it. You'll definitely want to cook your soy milk. Take the soy milk off the heat and let it cool, occasionally skimming off any bubbles on the surface. This is probably the most important step in the whole process. You need to let the milk cool down before adding in your coagulant. If you mix in the coagulant too early while the milk is still too hot, your tofu will end up curdling and you will not get the desired result of silken tofu. Who wants some dim sum? Or how about some inari tofu skins? I left it for about half an hour and you get that tofu skin at the top. For the coagulant, I used gypsum powder, which I purchased from a local homebrew wine and beer store. You'll want to use food-grade gypsum, not the construction ones. Just want to make that clear. I used approximately 1 1/3 tablespoon of gypsum powder and mix it with water. Add in some water and start mixing. Make sure you mix it so that all the powder is dissolved. Pour in the coagulant mix into a rice cooker first, and then followed by the cooled down soy milk. Once again, skim off any extra bubbles forming on the surface so that you will get that extra nice looking silken tofu. Now close the lid and let it sit for approximately 30 to 45 minutes. With this particular batch, I opened it up too early at the 20-minute mark, but you can already see the coagulant doing its job. I gave it another 15 more minutes for it to be completely ready. While we wait for the tofu, it's time to make the arnibal, or the sauce for the silken tofu. Traditionally, this is made with sago, or those tapioca pearls, but I like mine plain and simple, just with water and brown sugar. I used approximately half a bag of brown sugar. Yes, I know. I never said this was the healthy part. And then just add in some water and let it boil. And that's it. Thank you for watching and enjoy the fruits of your labors. If you like what you see, hit that like button, as well as that subscribe button. And let me know in the comment section if there's any recipe you want me to try on this channel. Until then, Jeffco out.